Thank you so much, Professor Suparna Ghosh Jairath. And I am so thankful to the colleagues at PHFI, IIPH Delhi, and most importantly, Professor Sanjay Zodpe, sir, who actually invited me for this very event. As the topic suggests, career opportunities for MPH graduates, I have also taken a period of 2030, like how Professor Himanshu has mentioned in his session. And this is based on a couple of studies carried out by the consultancy organizations like McKinsey, like Deloitte, Ernst and Young, who have looked into the workforce mix required not only in the health sector but also in other sectors. So I have taken out some of the important aspects of public health, how these agencies look at the public health sector or health sector would grow in years to come. Dr. Himanshu has also mentioned about the current pandemic, which has led the decision makers, the policy makers into a thinking that are we doing enough in terms of carrying out these programs, whether it is national health program or maybe the state level programs, health programs, or how good the private sector is able to take care of the requirements of people. So I'll be talking to you in extension to what Dr. Himanshu has just mentioned. I'm sure the presentation slides would be moving. Now, this is the outline which I would be talking about in my discussion, and some of the discussion which Professor Himanshu has already discussed, I just would like to probably emphasize it again very quickly, but generally, I would remain focused on the career opportunities. So, as you know, career is the progression and actions taken by a person throughout their life, and more specifically, it is related to the occupation they adopt for themselves. And you must be knowing that public health is a field which requires multidisciplinary competencies, right? Of course, you can excel in one skill set, but you need those skills, competencies which can help you to be a better professional while you work in the area of public health. So the areas which I would cover broadly would be the core public health functions, how we look at those functions internationally by different technical agencies. And I'll just touch upon some of the key competencies which these consultancy organizations have looked at, that what kind of workforce mix which would be required in India. And of course, their projections were in for year 2022, but this goes as per their document till 2030, the requirements. We'll talk about a couple of other documents which have identified that how many of these public health professionals which would require, and I'm sure with the current pandemic, these numbers would look very minuscule. Actually, the requirement is much more larger in the public health sector. We'll talk about some of the career opportunities which are there and how different disciplines can enrich public health and likewise provide them an opportunity to strengthen public health as per the requirements, needs of the community. And last, I will talk to you about some of those 10 or 14 skills which would require for to any professional for their future career. So what Dr. Himanshu mentioned was also coming out from the definitions of the technical agencies like WHO, American Public Health Association, Faculty of Public Health in UK. So essentially what they're trying to see here is that if you look at this definition, public health is more about preventing diseases, promoting health, for prolonging life in a population. It requires competencies which are around developing, strengthening, implementing policies, strategies, guidelines. It requires competencies around research, and most importantly, how best you would be able to provide leadership at the community level. So if you would want to bring change, you have to be part of the change, as said by the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi ji. So these community requirements would only come, or we would be able to understand those community requirements if we have that kind of understanding related to the society. So that is from where the uh, multidisciplinarity requirements of public health comes in. I'll mention it to you in next couple of slides. So if you look at the key functions as stated by WHO and some of these technical agencies, these are around carrying out researches, managing programs, managing communication channels, mobilizing communities, how we can use automation, computerization, technology, use of technology into strengthening of health and the infrastructure requirements of health, developing policies, implementing policies, enforcing law, regulations, because unless and until we have those capabilities which are strengthened by the implementation of law, we cannot carry out those activities. How best we can liaise with different organizations, how best we can link with people, understanding of monitoring, evaluation, understanding of research. These are the key functions or core functions. If you look at the core functions, these are essentially three: assessment, policy development, and assurance, which is management of health programs. Assessing what? Assessing community health needs, investigating health hazards and effects of it, analyzing health factors which are responsible for those poor health outcomes. Why we need policies? Policies are needed to implement certain programs effectively at a large scale. A scale, we are talking about a country like India, let's say, a scale which is needed for a state like Uttar Pradesh, which has more than 25 crores of population. Only 4 countries other than India probably has same number of people living in that place. Prioritizing the health needs, planning and developing policies, management of program, as I said, evaluation of those programs, informing the public. So these are the core functions of public health, and that is where these core competencies which are required by any health professional, which I have mentioned in the previous slides, like analytical skills, communication skills, policy development skills, cultural competencies, public health science skills, understanding of uh, how diseases spread, financial planning. Of course, since you have to carry out independent projects, research projects, activities, you need some amount of understanding how to make budgets, how to implement those budgets, leadership skills, because you would be dealing with people at community level, at team level, and most importantly, developing partnerships, collaborating with people, doing advocacy at higher level and also at the lower level with the opinion leaders, so that you are able to bring change in the community. When I was talking about the workforce mix, which has been identified by the consultancy organizations like McKinsey, Deloitte, Ernst and Young, they are talking about that almost 50% of current jobs would get drastically changed in years to come. That would require certain skill sets which are more holistic, which are more people oriented. And public health is one of such area. Almost 50% of these jobs, which we will see in the future, would require a skill set competency which we have just mentioned. As we know, there's a greater scarcity of public health professionals in India. All these years, we were more concerned as policymakers, as decision makers about the healthcare services. Very little has been done with regard to the preventive, promotive, rehabilitative aspects of health. There is a serious shortfall, which has been recognized also in National Health Policy 2017, which talks about a specific need to have public health management cadre to be in place. And many states have already started it. And likewise, the public sector, the private sector also has now understood that these skill sets, these competencies are ever needed to carry out the program more effectively. Some of the other estimates by different agencies. But this would definitely change with the kind of pandemic we have just went through. I'm sure the Niti Aayog and various other think tanks are looking into it. What kind of jobs we are talking about, what kind of careers we are talking about. Now, these careers, if you look at the title itself, shows the requirement of multidisciplinarity of the areas. Public health manager, district program coordinator, behavior change experts, health economists, research fellows, monitoring and evaluation officers, coordinators of training and resource centers, program managers, biostatisticians, epidemiologists, and many more. So students who have the previous training, let's say nursing, dentistry, or radiology, or maybe whatever areas, engineering, social sciences, veterinary sciences, in public health, there is the capacity to absorb all of them. And these jobs are getting developed as per the requirement of the current situation and situations to come. So if you look at the different titles which are there, who are working in public sector, in government sector, people who are working in NGOs, international NGOs, UN organizations, research organizations, consultancy organizations, in public sector undertakings, in the various other international organizations which are there, and they require these kind of people. The need for public health is ever changing. And in this period of newer technologies, when the entire system is getting automated, some more skill sets, which these technical agencies also talk about, are required to have among the budding professionals. That is creativity, emotional intelligence, analytical thinking. So how best you can kind of deal with the situations which emerge out at the community level. Interpersonal communications, leadership skills, technology skills, most importantly, the capacity to embrace change. Then curiosity, conscientiousness, collaboration, agility are some of these competencies which are required to carry out these career options. I'm sure there would be certain questions which would come to you mind. I'll be happy to answer those questions. Thank you so much for providing me this opportunity to talk to the students who are there. Thank you so much.